is the first one. The chanting of the holy name is the most sublime religion for the Kali Yuga. So everything in here is Prabhupada's words. I don't make any of these up. The Hare Krishna mantra is specifically mentioned in many Upanishads, such as the Kali Santarana Upanishad, where it is said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Iti Sarasakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmasanasanam Tat Paratarpaya Sarveshu Drishtati. After searching throughout all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than the chanting of Hare Krishna. So this was written thousands of years ago. So we're finding it becoming true. Caravaggio Rishi said to Maharaj Nimi, those who are advanced and highly qualified and are interested in the essence of life know the good qualities of Kali Yuga. Such people worship the age of Kali, because in this age, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can advance in spiritual knowledge and attain life's goal. And in Kali Yuga, one can attain liberation and return to the spiritual kingdom by chanting the holy name. This is from Bhagavatam 12.351. Sukadeva Goswami says to Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. I was just reading last night in the conversation books, Prabhupada was saying, some devotee was asking him that, Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, so when these people, when they hear the Harinam on the streets, he says, are they guaranteed of a human birth in their next lifetime? He says, oh yes. He says, not only a human birth, he says, but, and he quoted that verse, Suchanam Shri Metta Gehe. He says they'll get birth in a good family, a rich family, aristocratic family, or a Brahmin family, something like that. This is how auspicious it is. Just, we go out and we chant, and these people that hear it, they're going to get a human form of life in their next life. The only religious principle in the age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name. Ishvara Puri says to Lord Chaitanya, in this age of Kali, there is no other religious principle than the chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. And Sarvabhauma says to King Prataparuta, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replies, this sweet transcendental sound is a special creation of the Lord known as Prem Sankirtan, congregational chanting and love of Godhead. In this age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended to preach the religion of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna is the religious principle for this age. Anyone who worships Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by congregational chanting should be understood to be very intelligent. One who does not do so must be considered a victim of this age and bereft of all intelligence. And then the purport says, rascals propose that anyone can invent his own religious process, and this proposition is condemned herein. If one actually wants to become religious, he must take up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Dharma, or religion, cannot be manufactured by a human being. Religion is the law or code of the Lord. Dharma refers to the science of Bhakti Yoga, which begins by the novice's chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Tan Nama Varna Nanavi. In this age of Kali, it is recommended in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kali Kali Dharma, Krishna Nam Sankirtan. In the age of Kali, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the method of religion approved by all Vedic scriptures. Listen to this one. This is Ramaja Lila. In this age of Kali, there is no genuine religious principles. There are only the Vaishnava devotees and the Vaishnava devotional scriptures. This is the sum and substance of everything. I'll read this again. In this age of Kali, there are no genuine religious principles. There are only the Vaishnava devotees and the Vaishnava devotional scriptures. This is the sum and substance of everything. And the purport of it says, in this age, a person should not envy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, but should chant the holy names of Hari and Krishna, the Maha Mantra. This is the sum and substance of eternal religion known as Sanatana Dharma. I got this underlined here with wow. Excellent. There's no religious principle in this age. The only thing that's of any value is the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnava devotional scriptures. And what are the scriptures? They're just the words of the pure devotees. Not that that's just something, but this is what the scriptures are composed of, the words of these great acharyas. In Kali Yuga, the direct method of attaining perfection in spiritual life is chanting the holy name. This is from Bhagavatam 3.21.7. Whether one practices yoga or speculates and does research to find God, one's efforts must be mixed with the process of devotion. Without devotion, nothing can be perfect. The target of perfection and realization is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One has to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Personality of Godhead, Hari, or Krishna, in order to achieve real success. Devotional service or engagement in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and all other methods, although recommended, are indirect. In this age of Kali, the direct method is especially more feasible than indirect, because people are short living. Their intelligence is poor, and they are poverty-stricken and embarrassed by so many miserable disturbances. Lord Chaitanya therefore is given the greatest boon. In this age, one simply has to chant the holy name of God to attain perfection in spiritual life. There's a nice verse from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It's quoted in the Antya-lila Chaitanya Charita by Sanatana Goswami. Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupa Murarer Paramam Amritam Ekam Jivanam Bhushanam Me. All glories to the all blissful holy name of Sri Krishna, which causes the devotees to give up all conventional religious duties, meditation, and worship. When somehow or other, even once, by a living entity, the holy name awards him liberation. The holy name of Krishna is the highest nectar. It is my very life and my only treasure. Let me read this again. All glories to the all blissful holy name of Sri Krishna, which causes the devotee to give up all conventional religious duties, meditation, and worship. When somehow or other, even once, by a living entity, the holy name awards him liberation. The holy name of Krishna is the highest nectar. It is my very life and my only treasure. There's another place where Lord Chaitanya was describing this chanting, and he was saying, I don't do this intentionally. I do it automatically. He is not intentionally chanting, it's just automatic. It springs, as Prabhupada says, from the spiritual strata. It springs from the soul. So, the next one. The holy name counteracts the effects of Kali Yuga. The chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is especially meant for counteracting the contaminations of Kali Yuga. So this is that same verse again. Iti sarasakam nam nam kali kalmasanasanam natat paratopaya saladeshu drishti. The 16 words Hare Krishna are especially meant for counteracting the contaminations of Kali. To save oneself from the contamination of Kali, there is no alternative but the chanting of these 16 words. This is Maharaj Parikshit saves the citizens from the clutches of Kali by propagating the holy name, from the Bhagavatam 118.7. Even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus Maharaj Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name. And thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. It is for this advantage only that great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali. And this next one is also for Bhagavatam. The constant chanting of the holy names will drive away the personality of Kali from the world. This is a great one. I like this one. The personality of Godhead and his holy name, qualities, etc. are all identical. The personality of Kali was not able to enter the jurisdiction of the earth due to the presence of the personality of Godhead. And similarly, if there's an arrangement for the constant chanting of the holy names, qualities, etc., the Supreme Personality of God, there is no chance at all for the personality of Kali to enter. This is why Prabhupada wanted 24-hour kirtan. And similarly, if there is an arrangement for the constant chanting of the holy names of the Supreme Personality of God, there is no chance at all for the personality of Kali to enter. That is the technique of driving away all the personality of Kali from the world. In modernized human society, there are great advancements in material science, and they have invented the radio to distribute sound in the air. So instead of vibrating some nuisance sounds for sense enjoyment, if the state arranges to distribute transcendental sound by resounding the holy name, fame and activities of the Lord as they are authorized in Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then a favorable condition will be created. The principles of religion in the world will be reestablished, and thus the executive heads who are so anxious to drive away corruption from the world will be successful. So it's going to take time. Yeah.
I was reading Mr. John's traveling around and preaching. He actually entered New Vrndavana right after the biker gang came and.
Oh, you came after that?
Well, just slightly before that.
Were you there then?
No, but I actually felt for the first time in the book I got full detail exactly what happened, and they did just terrorize and brutalize the boys like anything. And when they had shotgun barrels stuck through the windows, and they actually went off, 2 boys were blown into the middle of the room bleeding. And after one guy died from lead poisoning 2 or 3 years later. But they all started chanting the Srinivas prayers, and the demons just started to go crazy. They couldn't take it, and they said, stop it, stop it, stop it. And they succumbed to that. And finally the boys realized we would have kept on chanting, they would have been completely bewildered. Then they just started chanting japa, and they couldn't handle the japa. But then they sent Kirtan on up the hill, the was going great. And then Radharani, in her own form, they pushed Krishna off the altar.
Vrndavana Chandra?
And then Radharani, they says, I'm going to kill this devotee if you don't go up there and finish off this other god. So the devotees had a choice between brutalizing the, let the devotee die right there on the floor, or push the deity off the altar. So a couple of devotees went up there, and they picked up Radharani, and they all knew marble floors and what big deity sounded like when they kind of set it on the floor, what she sounded like. And somehow or another, they picked up the deity, and it slipped out of their hands just miraculously. And Radharani fell a few inches, but toppled forward and hit the floor, and her arm broke. But the sound was like Varshan was there. He said simultaneously the most beautiful, blissful, full, nourishing sound. At the same time, tumultuous. And the sound, there's no way the sound could be replicated by just a stone, statue hitting
Like
the
the
floor.
showing that came out of the pillar, something like that.
And on the hill, it was the sound. It sounded like cannons going off. And on top of the hill, they thought, "My God, the Marines were here," and they all stopped. They were going to, kill two devotees. They ran down in hysteria. The other devotees, the biker gang, came out in hysteria, and the realization was that Radharani, the sound of her sacrificing her own form to save the devotees.
Wow. What a story.
Oh my gosh.
So transcendental sound is the ultimate weapon. And one more verse that Krishna is not in Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrndavana. He's there in presence wherever the pure devotees is chanting his names.